kid fights great. He's got speed and endurance. But if you sign to fight him, increase your insurance. I am the greatest.
I told you, I'm the real champion.
I am the greatest of all time. As you lie on the floor, all the ref counts 10. Pray that you won't have to fight me again. He is the greatest of all time. This brash young boxer is something to see, and the heavyweight championship is his destiny.
Welcome to Carl Briggs 73 Live Night Talk. Here we go again, fans, with another a good show. Tonight's show is about always thinking, right? Always thinking in calculated steps. You know, growing up, I didn't think in calculated steps. I had to learn to think in calculated steps because every move you make can be detrimental to you. I was talking to a friend tonight, and we was just talking about how most people try to provoke you into doing unhealthy things through negative energies. Example, you may have been in a relationship with a woman, and the woman has family members, of course. And so sometimes the family members tend to get inside of your business with the spouse, which can cause friction, right? And in the land and areas where I grew up at, that can sometimes become physical, and it can also turn deadly. And you just got to think, you know, it's hard thinking sometimes when you're angry or caught in a moment. But that moment is a negative energy. It's an unhealthy energy. And so you got to be vigilant about that whole script. And so I had said unto him, I said, you know, we both suffer from the same thought process. Where we grow up at, it's like zero tolerance for nonsense, you know, any type of zero tolerance for disrespect, with quote unquote what we consider disrespect. But really, what is disrespect? Is it really disrespect? Or is that person just different from you? And we came to the conclusion that person is just different from us. And to embrace the beautiful person that you are, you have to embrace the fact that that person is an unhealthy and a negative energy in order to have forgiveness and empathy for that person and yourself for having that thought or connecting yourself to his or her negative energy. Right? It's time for us to grow up. They say, well, I'm grown. I say that all the time, but I'm still somewhat of a child mentality-wise because of my attachments to negative energies, right? I have not yet grown in that process because I keep finding myself going right back to that which I came from, right? And so it's a perpetual and a constant work mentally. Once your mind stops working, you're going to get down, right? You're going to get down by the hands of your own self, right? No harm can come to me other than these hands right here, right? These hands belong to me, and only I can bring harm to myself. I realize that now. I realize that, and I thank the people that's in my life, the support group that I have today, right? And my content is to reach out to people. My content, obviously, is Carl Briggs 73 Live, Street Talk, Psychology 101. And it's to help the mentality. It's to help my mentality. It's to help the mentality of human beings. It's also to help the growth process of me as a man, which will help the growth process of some of my peers out there and some human beings and my fan base. So we all could grow together as one. This, I believe, will make the world a much better place. I look over a lot of things, right, in this life, and I see a lot of stuff that goes on. We talked about the 8-year-old little girl, however, who was shot at a Black Lives Matter protest. Not to get back into that, but it also attached the world. If you are a father or a parent, or just have mass compassion in your heart, it drifted you into that negative energy. And once you became one with that negative energy, it sent you into a deep depression. So in order for us not to get into a depression, we have to stay vigilant, and we have to stay thinking, and we have to stay calculating.
This kid's got a left. This kid's got a right. If he hits you once, you're asleep for the night. This kid fights great. He's got speed and endurance. But if you sign to fight him, increase your insurance. I am the greatest.
I told you, I'm the real champion.
I am the greatest of all time. As you lie on the floor, all the ref counts 10. Pray that you won't have to fight me again. He is the greatest of all time. This brash young boxer is something to see, and the heavyweight championship is his destiny.
Now, I chose Muhammad Ali, right, as the example, because if you watch the video of Muhammad Ali threw so many punches at his opponents, it was like beyond comprehension. So in order to hit a man that many times in a professional fight, his mind had to be always thinking before itself, like the game of chess. Floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. So in order for me to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee, cognitively, I have to always be thinking, right? We talking finances now, like always thinking to save our money, right? You got to always be vigilant in those areas, right? And strengthen your mind to think fast, because it can become imminent. I had to tell a friend that in a time of a rainy day, we had some emergency money to help out one another. And it came from calculating weeks in advance, right? Calculating steps in advance, right? You got to always stay calculating steps in advance. And so as I was watching Muhammad Ali, it seemed to me that he was always calculating where he was going to hit somebody. Before he hit him, he already knew he was going to hit him in that spot. We have to exercise the same tenacity within our life endeavors, right? Say with our children, we have to always be calculating in how we get them up for school, get them dressed, get them the safety to and from, and how we going to execute our day to get our rest, right? All this is a thought process, and if it's one calculation is off, life could be over for us as adults, right? So we have to stay calculating in our steps at all times, thinking to better ourselves. Once again, flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. In order for that to be executed, the thought process had to always be like this, perpetual. Everything is perpetual. Even when I'm driving, if I miscalculate something or drift off, I could cause an accident. People do it every day. And we're just not vigilant. Like, people get right in front of you and just shoot right over in the lane without even thinking or using their blinker, and then cause an accident just that quick. Okay? So tonight's topic is about calculating your steps, your every move, so you can be safe and so we can have a better movement. I feel like the people that I grew up with in my community, we really don't calculate our steps properly. Most. But then we have people that actually do, but they don't share the information or even care to share or to teach. They say each one teach one, but really, do we do that? So with that said, tonight's segment, always stay thinking and stay perpetual.